Yo, what's up guys? It's JD and James. We're back with another quick video. And today's video we want to touch on that mindset again. And this video is pretty much going to be talking about chasing your dreams, chasing your goals, and basically fear versus mindset, and how you kind of need to calculate these things when it comes down to making your decisions. So before we get into the video, if you guys are interested in the fitness and mindset content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you guys can get updated every time we drop new content. But let's get back into it. I was kind of thinking about this earlier today, just because you see so much fear in terms of the news, in terms of social media, and you know, everybody's trying to scare you out of something. And most of the time, that fear mongering and people pushing that fear narrative is usually to push you into a corner to where they can kind of have their way with you. Maybe it's a financial thing, maybe it's a control thing. But when it comes down to life in general, I think operating out of fear is pretty much the worst way that you can operate and the worst way that you can move through your life. Because what fear actually leads to is regret. When you make decisions out of fear, you're going to end up having a ton of regret at the end of your life. So, you know, that's the reason why we have to conquer our fears, and that's the reason why we have to make decisions move based on what we actually want out of our life and not actually what we're scared of happening. You want to touch on that, James?
Yeah, I think a lot of times we make fear-based decisions instead of rational decisions, or, you know, decisions that we're trying to chase after something versus trying to run away from something. It doesn't allow us to use all of our faculties. You'll notice your thinking is not going to be as clear, it's not going to be as sharp, and you're going to be constantly going through your life playing not to lose versus playing to win, which is a completely different mindset. And when you're playing to win and you're going, like, you know, you're swinging for the fences, you're definitely going to encounter a lot more failure. I can guarantee you that. But the successes that you do hit are going to make up for that tenfold. So it's something that I've just kind of learned is I've noticed all of my biggest mistakes came from when I was, like you might be in a meeting or something with a bunch of people and you don't want to say out your idea because you're afraid that your idea might not be accepted by other people. You're afraid that you're going to be looked at as being stupid, or even in the gym, you might have a weight and you don't want to attempt it because you don't want to look, weak, failing that weight, or you don't want the shame of like people judging you at the gym for not hitting a weight. All of that it's gonna come with a lot more failure, but you can't just look at the failure. You got to look at how much more success you're gonna get because of that mindset of chasing after it versus running.
Yeah, I just thought about something when you were talking about, like when it comes down to being scared of how you're gonna look. And I was thinking about the example of, like, have you ever been in like a meeting at your job, or maybe you were in class and you had an idea that you wanted to share, and it was a good idea, but you were just scared, oh, maybe people are gonna think, and then somebody else says it like 10 minutes later, and everybody loves it. The boss is going, yeah, oh, that's such a good idea. We need to promote this dude. And you thought about it. You thought about the same exact thing, but you were just scared to say it. And man, that's just such a trip, because we're gonna miss out on so many different things in our life if we're operating based on fear.
I feel like you're not, like, when you're operating that fear-based mindset, you're not gonna be a trailblazer. Like, say, I don't know, even we were talking about cryptocurrency the other day. If you're operating a fear-based mindset, you're never gonna be that first person in. You might eventually, hop on the train, when, most of the gains have already been made. But the person that has that, targeted mindset and the vision, those are kind of the pioneers that actually pave roads. We're in a desert right now, and the pioneers are the ones that are paving the road, running over the cactus. They're getting scrapes along the way, but now we have these nice paved roads that we all, drive on, and it's seamless. But at the end of the day, you didn't create anything, you didn't pioneer anything, you didn't beat your own path, which is actually kind of what to me this journey is all about, is that self-discovery and creation.
Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier, because they're right behind us. Like you said, this is a desert, but there's a paved trail right back there. So you see some people over there walking there, they're pushing strollers, walking their dogs, whatever it may be. But there's also another little trail over there, and you can actually go off of the trail a little bit. And earlier today, I just told myself, you know, I'm going to challenge myself to go off the trail a little bit. You know, I know there's different types of animals and different types of snakes and insects and stuff like that out here, but I just told myself, you know, I can't be scared to go check out something that might be the most beautiful part of this entire area. And what I like to do is I like to go places and take photographs and stuff like that. And I ended up taking some really cool shots over there. And if I would have stayed on the paved road, there was no way I would have been able to take any shots as cool as, you know, going between little mini canyons that they have over there where there's no pavement, or, you know, going and checking out different angles where there's rocks that could potentially fall on you. But, you know, when you're operating based on being scared of rattlesnakes or being scared of, you know, bumping into a coyote or a wild boar, you know, you're never going to be able to, you know, experience these type of things. And a lot of the things that we can experience in our life, whether that's traveling abroad, whether that's, you know, being scared to go up and ask the girl out that you've had a crush on for the past month. You know, actually, that's another one I actually want to touch on in terms of that in particular, is a lot of times guys might be scared to talk to women, and a lot of times the women might want to talk to you as well, or they might want you to come up and talk to them, but because you're so scared, you know, you never get the opportunity. I can remember when I was in high school, there was a girl I had a crush on my freshman year, and we had class together. You know, we always used to talk, and we were really friendly, and I had a big crush on her, and she had a big crush on me too. And then I ended up transferring high schools my junior year, and then come to find out, you know, all her friends are coming up, oh, you know, such and such, you know, she had the biggest crush on you the whole time. And here I was scared to express myself and let her know how I felt about her, and, you know, that I had a big crush on her. But she felt the exact same way. And what ended up happening is our sophomore year, somebody else ended up dating her. And, you know, at that point,
I didn't even like him as much.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
yeah,
But he was the one who wasn't scared to come up and swing the bat and take the chance. But guys, operating out of fear, that's the last thing that you want to do. You know, once you get to, if you're able to hit 70, 80, 90, maybe even 100 years old, God willing, you know, you don't want to look back on your life and think, I wish I would have tried to do this. I wish I would have tried to do that. You want to look back and be like, man, you know, I went for it. I messed up here. I messed up there.
I also want to talk about this too. Like, I think it makes sense to write out the pros and cons, because that clarifies a lot of things. Like, you know, there are certain things that I think, okay, the risk reward's not there. Like, you know, you might fall off the cliff and die, so that might not make sense. But like, for your example, like asking the girl out, I mean, what's the worst that could happen? I mean, probably the worst that could happen is like some dude will want to fight you or something like that. That's about the worst that's gonna happen. It's such a extremely low risk, and then the potential reward, you know, if you end up in a fulfilling relationship or you just have a nice fun time, short period of time. But really, you know, when you write out the pros and cons, it kind of clarifies which risks that you most definitely should be taking. Like applying for a job too.
Pragmatic
like
thinking.
The worst thing that could happen, like, to me, the worst decisions are the people that make rejection-based decisions. So they're like living their entire life trying to avoid rejection, rejection costs you nothing. Rejection's free. And people leave so much money on the table just afraid to, you know, talk to people that they might want to start a business with, or talk to the women they want to meet.
I know I know so many people who've gotten jobs that they're not qualified for, just simply off the fact that they're not scared to go in and, you know, go into an interview confident and let them know what they do bring to the table, not what they don't bring to the table. They can go into somebody who's actually scared to not get the job is going to go in there constantly thinking about, oh, well, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do that, I don't know how to do that. But then the person who gets a job who's not qualified, all he's going to hammer home is, this is what I bring to the table. This is what I do know how to do.
I can learn that. I'm a great team player. I communicate well. That is like 99% of jobs.
And just like James said, you can't just go through your life completely fearless, but, you know, there's a difference between caution and fear. Caution is thinking strategically and, like James said, weighing out the pros and cons. Fear is just being scared of your own shadow. And in our lifetime, we're going to fail time and time and time again. Somebody commented on my other YouTube channel about failure, and, you know, failing is something that I've done tons of time. I can't count the amount of times that I failed in life, but the key is that you should always be failing forward. Every failure is not necessarily a loss, it's a learning lesson. So if you take your failures and you just take them as lessons to learn from, then you're gonna be failing forward, and you just keep trying. As long as you don't give up, you're not gonna lose in the long run. People who lose and people who really fail in life are the people who quit.
Purchase your tracks today.